Hello, my friends. I'm Clover, and this is Genuinely Approachable Sudoku. And today we're solving Surrounded by Philip Newman. This is an X-sum Sudoku. I am a huge fan of X-sums. It's one of my favorite variants. We don't do it too often in GAS because it can get a little bit mathy, but this one should be pretty gentle. So we do have standard Sudoku rules, replacing the digits 1 through 9, once each in each row, each column, and each outlined 3x3 region. And then there are also some numerical clues outside the grid. And the way these numerical clues work is you look at the first number that is closest to the clue. So for instance, for the 7 clue, we're going to look right here. And that's going to tell us how many digits we're summing together. So for instance, if this was a 3, it would be saying we're summing the first 3 digits together, including that 3. If it's a 2, we'd be summing the first 2 digits together, including the 2. And whatever those digits are, their sum has to be the value of the clue. So for instance, the first 3 digits here would have to be 7, or the first 2 digits here would have to be 7. Now, if you're very astute, you may have noticed that the first 3 digits here cannot be 7, because 3 there would leave us with 4 and 2 cells, which is always 1 plus 3 in Sudoku. So that can't be a 3. It must be a 2, making this a 5. There are 2 ways to make 6. It's either 2 with a 4 following it, or a 3, 1, 2, or 3, 2, 1, I suppose, but there's a 3 in the row already, so that's a 2 with a 4 following it. 45 is actually the sum of all 9 digits in a Sudoku, so this is going to be a 9 because we know we must be summing 9 digits. 44 has to be all of the digits except the 1, so this is an 8, and this is going to be a 1. Similarly, 43 has to be all of the digits except the 2, so that's going to be an 8, and that's going to be a 2. So we know one of these 2 digits is an 8, just because 8 can't go anywhere else in row 5, and there's an 8 right there, so 8 goes right there. So the remaining 3 digits in this region are going to be 2, 3, and 7. That's not a 2, that is not a 3. Okay, 8, there are 2 ways to do in X-sums. It's either 2 digits, 2 and 6, which is not going to work here because we've placed a 2 already. Or it could be 3 digits, 3 plus 2 digits summing to 5, which has to be 1 plus 4, and that's exactly what we've got here. 5 is always 2 digits, 2 and 3. That's always the case in X-sums. Okay. 42 has to either be the first 7 digits leaving out 1 and 2 because the total we're leaving out is 3, or the first 8 digits leaving out just the number 3 by itself. We can't be leaving out 1 and 2 because there's a 1 right there, so we know it's not getting left out. So this is going to be the first 8 digits with a 3 left over. By Sudoku, we now get that this is an 8, and in fact, I believe we only have Sudoku left to do, so let's go ahead and get cooking with some Sudoku. So we have 8s here, here, and here, and that's going to place an 8 right there. There's also going to be an 8 here, and there's an 8 in one of those 2 cells, and I don't think we can do more with 8s at this moment. We need a 2 in this column, which can only go here. These have to be 6, 7, and 9 to complete that column, and this can't be a 9. These guys are 1, 6, 7, and 9, and that is not a 1. These are 2, 3, 6, and 7 to finish the row, and because there's a 2 and 3 in this column already, that's going to be a 6 or a 7, so we can eliminate 6 and 7 from these cells. And the 2 here resolves our 2 and 3, which finally tells us how the middle region plays out. To finish this column, we're going to need a 7, which can only go right here because there's already a 7 in region 8. And we're going to need a 4 and a 6, which are resolved by this 4 right here. We need a 1 and a 3, which can only go here and here, thanks to the 1 and 3 there. And we need a 2 and a 5. Now, finishing off this column, we're going to need a 4 and a 5. Here we need a 6 and a 9 to finish off the region. So neither of these guys can be 9. These guys can't be 7 since there's now a 7 in the row. And these are going to be 1, 6, and 9, and I can eliminate 9 from the leftmost empty cell in that row since there's a 9 in the region. This isn't a 6 because there is a 6 in the row. These are going to be 1, 5, and 7, and that's not a 1. Let's look down here for a moment. I still need 5, 6, 7, and 9, and I have a 6 and 9 in this row, so that'll be 5 and 7. Which resolves due to the 5 in column 7. So that's either a 6 or a 9. The column finishes with 1, 6, and 9, and because we have a 1 and 6 here, that's a naked 9, which resolves the rest of the column. And also bounces back up here and gives us this lovely 9. Now we have a 4 here to finish off the region. Here we need a 4 and a 7 to finish the row, which are placed based on this 4 here. And the 7 tells us which way these go. Actually, that 7 there also would have told us that. These are going to be 2, 3, and 9, which can be placed by Sudoku. These guys are going to be 1, 3, and 8. That can only be a 1, so that's a naked 1. That's my 8, and that is my 3. Finish off this row with a 7, a 4. I need a 5 and a 9 here, which resolve. The 6 fixes this 1, 6 pair, which resolves region 3. And everything else should just fall out of that. There we go. That is how you solve Philip Newman's Surrounded. Hope you enjoyed that one. If you want to check it out yourself, the link is in the description below this video. And I will see you again in a couple days.